and rise and become everything. But shouldn't that be something important to all of us? Absolutely. And that is what she's fighting for. So I'm going to tell you like this, because I know y'all want to hear to do the right thing. Y'all was going to good with the thing.
Take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
I want to be clear about this, because people want to play and say black men are wrong all the wrong way. And I have thought about this, and I honestly don't buy it. But I'm going to tell y'all are almost calling black men a little cuckoo when you say it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this fool is literally piling around with white supremacists. I mean, this dude has called on the Proud Boys. This guy had somebody in full KKK garb at his event in Connecticut. What makes y'all think black men have anything in common with the leader of the white supremacists? They don't. What makes you think that black men are going to stand back and stand by while he says, you know what, that criminal immunity for law enforcement, we want to make sure that that's a reality. Because I'm upset that now officers are being prosecuted by these progressive prosecutors. What makes you think that black men are not going to protect themselves and protect their families and protect their future generations? And when you talk about things such as healthcare, when we hear your story, let me tell you something. One of the things y'all don't know is that one of the things that moves the needle the most with black men is the fact that the cost of insulin got reduced. You know why? Because they have loved ones that they care for. Their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunts, and they want them to be safe. And so they care about those things. So listen, I mean, the misinformation, disinformation, or lying campaign has been doing its thing, but I am going to tell you the final thing. And then I'm going to do the right thing.
Take your time.
It's going to be my final. Many of you probably know of me not because of a national co-chair, but because of a little situation. A little situation at work. Little situation at work. What I try to tell people all the time is that if my colleagues will be disrespectful while cameras are rolling, and they're talking to me as their colleague, imagine what they do in their legislature.
No, I'm saying you good. I'm saying you good. Yes, sir.
It is beyond disrespectful. The final example that I'll give, because I live this life, this is why I am not sleeping, because we have to win. I am here because freedom runs through Philly. I am here to tell you that something called SNAP benefits, anybody ever heard of it? Okay. So we're having a fight right now, because the Republicans in the House will not pass the Farm Bill because they're saying we won't pass it unless we cut $30 billion worth of SNAP benefits.
No.
Now let me break it down so y'all can really understand. People only get $6 a day to eat in the first place. When I tell you that they are constantly attacking people that are already struggling, I mean that. And let me tell you, they don't care about immigration either. What they care about is making sure that this country stops getting so colorful. That's all it is, because they didn't care about immigration so long as the immigrants were working the farms and keeping the cost of food down. They didn't care about immigration when they were building their nice big houses. They didn't care about immigration when they were coming in and making the beds and cleaning the floors. And then he had the audacity to say that the immigrants were coming and taking our black jobs. If anybody believes that we as black folk are going to allow somebody to play in our face, now he may play in a lot of other people's faces and get away with it, but black